coming into week 4 of the NASCAR Cup Series season. My name is Dan. This is my son, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm at home. He's away at college. This is the way that we've been enjoying the NASCAR Cup Series season together for the last couple of years. So we had our Las Vegas race last week. William Byron dominates and wins. Larson was going to win if Byron didn't. Alex Bowman comes in a strong third place. And then you've got Josh Berry filling in for Chase Elliott. Didn't do so hot, but Hendrick was very good. We need to talk a little bit about Chase Elliott. When we recorded our video last week, the news had not yet broken about his injury. Of course, since that time, everybody has probably heard that he broke his left tibia, that's his lower leg bone, while snowboarding. And he had surgery, got that fixed up. Typical recovery time for an injury like that for an athlete is 6 to 8 weeks. And then we'll see how much time it actually takes him to get back in the car.
Yeah, I mean, that's not good for his season. I think they appealed him still being allowed to be in the playoffs if he makes it, but it's going to be at least another month, which is some crucial time, crucial points that he could be getting.
A big topic of conversation has been, well, should Chase Elliott have been snowboarding the day before he was supposed to be at the track at Las Vegas?
I mean, I don't know what he was doing. Like I've read stuff that he's actually like a big hobby of his is snowboarding. So I don't know if he was doing something too dangerous or if it was just some kind of freak accident. But from what I see, at least, it's something that he regularly does. So it's not like he was just messing around and then he messes himself up trying something.
I tend to side with the people that say NASCAR drivers, they've got to be able to live their lives and have some hobbies of their own beyond racing.
Hopefully he heals quick, because this is an injury. I think it was, you said, his left tibia, which that's his braking foot.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's no way he's gonna be able to drive with it, and hopefully it'll be at least a month, or I mean at most a month, but it has a chance to be 2 months, even more, depending on how healing is.
At least 8 races. That's what I think. And it could be more than that, because you get the thing healed up, but then you've also got to get your leg back in shape. When he does come back, do you think he can get a win before the playoffs begin?
I still feel like he could. It might be, like you said, 8 races, but I still think he's got the skill. It's not like he's got to warm up in the car. He's just got to get his leg back in shape. And I think he'll be fine, still be able to get a win, because he'll be down. It's got to be hundreds of points, right?
Yeah, by the time he comes back, I don't think there will be any way he could make it in on points. But I agree with you. He probably can still come in and win one race, even if he comes back and he's only got, maybe 10 or 12 races to get that in there. He probably can still do it. We had talked about how the Hendrick cars were all going to be good. Nick, your pick to win was Kyle Larson, and he almost did win, if not for Byron. He finished second place. So kudos to you there. I had Ross Chastain as my winner. He ends up 12th. Just never quite got it. He was never really a front runner in this race. He was always, kind of up there, but he finishes 12th. Our consensus top 3 guy was Joey Logano. Of course, he finishes last place.
Lucky.
You've continued your very hot streak on picks so far this year. That will be slightly blemished by your sleeper pick of Chase Briscoe, who finishes 28th.
Don't even. Briscoe, I'll talk about him later.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about him later. And then I finally got on the board with a sleeper. I had Justin Haley, and he finishes 8th in this race.
Not bad. Going forward, I have removed Elliott for the foreseeable future. No point in having him up there, because
same here.
It's not going to affect anything for at least a month. So he'll come back then, but right now he's gone. Actually, I'll start from the top. I still have Chastain as number 1. He was 9th place, he was 3rd, he was 12th. If he doesn't do something great next race, I can't in good conscience keep him as the top power ranked guy. like he's been good, but I need something great here, which this Phoenix race, it could be something great.
Let me just go ahead and share my top with you as well. You and I even talked about it over the weekend that, how could I keep Christopher Bell ranked as number one? Well, I looked at my rankings and I've kept Christopher Bell as number one because anybody who could have moved up and taken that spot, they didn't move up to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Bell was not great at Las Vegas, but somehow he did finish fifth. I had to do a double take when I looked at that. Oh, he finished fifth? Okay. So he was not great, but Chastain I had as my number two. He didn't do enough for me to move him up to that one spot. Of course, Elliott drops out of the rankings. So I've still got Christopher Bell at number one. Now you can go ahead.
So moving down, Elliott was second, completely voided. He'll be back later. So Kyle Busch is moving up to second. I've kept Logano at third. He had an unlucky thing. I don't even think it was his fault. He got bumped and was out. So I'm not going to let that designate his ranking because I think he'd been doing pretty well up until that point.
And he'll be
But
dangerous this weekend also.
Now the first place and second place, Byron and Larson, they got to move up. I decided to put Byron next. So Byron would be fourth and then Larson's fifth.
Okay.
Both have been solid, and then especially this last race, they just both were up there dominating. William Byron led 150 plus laps, won. I think it was great. Moving on, that means Bell would be sixth. The rest of the 6 through 10 hasn't really changed. I've got my eye on Suarez because he actually finished I think it was 10th, but he's just been solid all around. Also, Bowman, I'm one to say Bowman's one of the luckiest drivers. He finished third. I got to see a little bit more before I start putting stock in Bowman.
Yes, Suarez, 3 races, 3 top 10s so far this season. And then you mentioned Bowman, all luck, no skill, 3 races, 5th, 8th, and 3rd. You can't chalk all that up to luck.
We'll see Phoenix. We'll see Phoenix. But Martin Truex, I had to give him his due.
Okay, so he was on the edge for you, and now finally he has jumped all the way in.
22nd to 12th because he was 15th, 11th, and now 7th. So he's got something going. Let's see a win or let's see a top 5, but something to look out for. Continuing on, Briscoe, I had him 15th. This guy is just I think I picked him as sleeper twice, and he's been awful. He was 35th at Daytona, then 20th, and then this race he finished, I think it was 26th. So, or 28th actually. It's just I don't know what he's doing. I don't remember him being some genius at short road courses, so I don't know what's happening on these longer distance speedways that's going on, but
he's just a slow starter.
Yeah,
and who won the spring race at Phoenix last year? Chase Briscoe.
Well, let's hope he's started up and ready, but I will not be picking him as a sleeper or a winner this week. I've made the mistake twice. I've dropped him. He is now 17th. He's not off the board because maybe he's just a slow starter, but it's kind of rough. And Corey LaJoie, he broke the streak of the teens he finished 20th, but still 20th is not bad for a guy like Corey LaJoie. I got him as 23rd, kind of out, but still someone that fun to watch, and he's being decent. So
yeah. So you're saying he's been 20th or better all 3 races?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job, Corey LaJoie. So for my rankings, as I mentioned, I kept Christopher Bell at the top, with Chase Elliott falling out. Then Joey Logano and Kyle Busch each move up 1 spot. I've got Kyle Larson coming into my top 5. Then Denny Hamlin stays at 6 for me. I've got Alex Bowman coming in at number 10 now. So Alex Bowman is my biggest mover of the week. Austin Dillon was creeping up each week. He's bounced back just a little bit, down to 14th. Martin Truex Jr. for me moved up another couple spots. He is now 15th on my rankings. Austin Cindric had a quietly good performance. I've got him at 16th. And the rest of my top 20 is kind of, who wants it? The driver that entered in my rankings in place of Chase Elliott was Brad Keselowski. I've got him at 20th. Nick, who are a couple of drivers that you are worried about after 3 races into the season that you're like, what's going on?
Well, guys that I'm worried about,
Yeah, now you mentioned Briscoe. So
Briscoe.
you're just mad at Briscoe because you've been giving him some credit and
Yeah.
he hasn't deserved
Well, I
it.
mean, a playoff driver that kept going when you thought he'd be out first round, and it's kind of been a rough start for him.
Yeah.
Other guys, I mean, Cindric had a quiet week, so I'm not gonna say Cindric's. He hasn't been. I might be overrating him, but he hasn't been super great this season so far, especially with like him coming out winning Daytona at the start of last season. I was worried about Reddick just because he'd been not catching a break. He got 15th this race, which is not
Yeah.
great, but
Yeah.
I still think there's more.
I am a little bit worried about him, but I'm also willing to still chalk that up to adjustment and growing pains with the new team.
I agree. I still think there's more from him that we have yet to see. Allmendinger, I was gonna talk about him. I don't really want to rank him because I just know he's way better with road courses and short tracks. He's kind of been holding his own, nothing great. So I'm not gonna say worried yet until I start seeing these road courses come around.
So far this season, I'm a little bit worried about my guy, Eric Jones.
Hmm.
Been 37th, Daytona, chalk that up to Daytona, 19th and 19th. But he just hasn't seemed very competitive so far this season. His teammate Noah Gragson has also been bad. So I'm hoping that that team will get some momentum going. Maybe Jimmy Johnson will come back for another race and give him a spark there. But let's go, Eric Jones. Then let's talk about Phoenix.
Hmm.
Phoenix, the desert race, the flat 1 mile and change track hasn't been your favorite, has it, Nick?
Not really. And I mean, I don't know why they have it as the championship race. Last championship race, it was kind of just nothing. It was they were just racing. It was nothing exciting, just around and around. Logano wins the end. It's not one that I'm super just excited about watching because I just feel like it's just a dud kind of track.
If you're fast and if you're up front, you're going to be awfully hard to pass. Of course, we've got Josh Berry once again in the 9 car, filling in for Chase Elliott. Zane Smith, Nick, is going to be driving the 38, Todd Gilliland's car this week. And interestingly enough, Todd Gilliland is driving the 15 car for Rick Ware in this race. So what's Todd Gilliland going to do if he gets behind the 38?
I don't know. That is kind of funny that they're shaking it up like that.
And I believe that he and Zane Smith are friends as well.
Yeah.
It's just kind of an interesting wrinkle. So the model of consistency at Phoenix, Nick, this guy in the last 10 races at Phoenix has been top 10 every single time. He's been top 5 in 5 out of those 10, and he's won only one. But do you know who I'm talking about? It's Harvick.
My favorite consistent driver.
Yeah. Of course, Joey Logano has 2 wins in recent years at Phoenix, including last year's championship race. Kyle Larson is top 5, top 10 quite a lot of the time here. And of course, he won the championship in the fall of 21. Kyle Busch has finished 7th 3 times in a row at Phoenix.
If you've got a fast car, this is a track that it's not like you're going to be fighting for this spot if you just keep the lead the whole time.
2 drivers that I think this needs to be their opportunity to put their best foot forward and to contend for the win. One of those is Ryan Blaney. He has been very good at this track. In the last 3 races, Blaney has been top 5 each time. So if Blaney is going to do something, I think now is the time. Blaney, let's do it. And then, of course, we've talked about him almost more than anybody else so far. Briscoe. Briscoe won the spring race. He was 4th in the fall at Phoenix. If he's wanting to get his season going, I think this is the week. It's time, or we're going to be just writing him off.
For sure. Just at least show us just a top 10 or something.
So far this season, we have 3 winners, 3 guys that are likely locked into the playoffs: Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Busch, and William Byron. So, Nick, will we add a fourth guy to that list this week?
I think it's very possible that we'll add a fourth. Out of those three guys, Kyle Busch could win this race, but I would see a couple other guys before him win. Logano, of course, he's got a great record with this, and he just won. Chastain, he was there, second place at the end of last season. He's a consistent guy. I like a Chastain pick here. I wonder if we're going to see a good show again from Hendrick, especially Larson and Byron.
Okay, Byron in the last handful of races at Phoenix, 6th, 18th, 17th, and 8th. So not bad. Of course, Larson, we mentioned, he had a 34th that was in there, but besides that, he's been 9th, 1st, 7th, 4th at Phoenix.
So out of that grouping of people, though, I'm going to defend my number one power ranked guy. I said he's been good, but he's on the edge. Let's see a win from Ross Chastain.
Right there with you on those guys that you mentioned. I'm going to go with Joey Logano to bounce back to win his second in a row at Phoenix. Would you want to go with Mr. Consistency, Kevin Harvick, as our top 3 guy?
I don't know. Like he's been top 10s. I don't know. Is he going to be a top 3 kind of guy?
Well, yeah, I feel like the sure thing probably applies to him being 5th, 6th, 7th, something like that.
Yeah. You want to do like a riskier Ryan Blaney Ford?
I've kind of said I'm finished with picking Blaney until I see him stop having these killer deals.
Okay, we can hold off on Blaney then. Then who are we gonna pick? Larson?
So then what if we went with the Toyota and we go with Denny Hamlin?
I'll agree to a Hamlin pick this time. I'll agree to it.
He has been very good.
He's been good. In
the last 6 races at Phoenix, Denny Hamlin has been top 10 every time, but he has not won in any of those. We're not picking him to win. We're picking him to be.
No, yeah, this is for third. It's kind of a toss up between a number of guys, though. I'd be fine with the Hamlin pick.
Okay, we're gonna go with
Denny. Gonna win, but top 5 Hamlin, top 3 Hamlin, yeah. For a sleeper, I'm gonna double down. I'm really going for it, doubling down with Trackhouse, Daniel Suarez. Suarez has been heating up. Chastain is already going to be up there. I think Suarez could be up there too to win.
Well, my sleeper is going to be the guy that I called a bust for this season, Brad Keselowski.
I was debating that pick too, but he's really surprised both of us. And I don't have, like, if you told me like 3 months ago, like, oh, you're going to pick Brad to be a possible winner, there's no way, but it's possible now.
I think for me, I was putting too much stock in how that team didn't seem to show up at all for the Clash. And I mean, that's just an exhibition race. They were terrible there. And I think I let that influence me a little too much.
No, but I would say chances are high that it's going to be a new winner this week. Yes,
I agree. All right, well, enjoy the race, everyone, this weekend. Nick, I'll enjoy watching this one and talking with you about it. And we'll see you next time.